Yep. Hey, everybody on LinkedIn and YouTube. We are getting our live stream together. You guys know every week I have to wait just a little bit for StreamYard to play nice with Facebook. Looks like it is working. There we go. Got the squirrels running over here. I'm so excited for this conversation. I think it's going to be, I know it's going to be amazing. So if you guys are coming to us live on LinkedIn or YouTube, I want you to say, hey. If you're coming to me in my free Facebook group, say hey there too. Here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what I know is on your mind. It's on everybody's mind that's an online entrepreneur. Your freebie fans. Okay. The freebie seekers, the guys and girls that grab your free lead magnets. What if those freebie fans actually became paying clients? Did everybody in the room just go, yes, right? Well, this is great. This is a dream come true for you and I, because my friend, Sarah Noel Block, is in the house, and she's going to help us make that dream a reality, because we're going to talk about a gateway offer, and it is something you've got to put in place for 2026. But first, just in case we are brand new to each other and we've never met, I want to introduce myself before I introduce Sarah. I am Tracy Beavers. I'm an award-winning business and sales coach and host of the top-ranked podcast, Create Online Business Success. And I teach all organic visibility and list growth strategies. And I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs over the years to get massively visible in the online space, attract their ideal clients so you can grow that email list, have more leads coming in, and get to that consistent monthly income that we all really want. And the strategies that I teach you, we get your list growth and your leads coming in automatically every day in the background of your business without paid ads, without investing in paid ads, and without investing your time in creating more free lead magnets. So as we go along, you guys know the drill. Pop your questions and comments into the chat. I'm going to be checking those as we go. If you're watching on replay and you have a question or a comment for Sarah, please put it in there and I will hunt her down. She's easy to find. And I will ask her the question and have her answer it for you. So let me introduce her, because you're going to love her as much as I do. She is the founder of Tiny Marketing and the creator of the Lean Marketing Engine. She's also host of the marketing podcast, Tiny Marketing. You guys should check it out. She is passionate about revolutionizing marketing for founder-led business service-based companies. And she has mastered the art of efficient, love that, high impact, love that too, marketing. Efficient, high impact marketing. Marketing that drives growth without draining your resources. And she's done that over a decade of experience. And her mission is to empower people like us to build a pipeline of ready to buy prospects using smart, streamlined tactics to get you where you want to go. Sarah, welcome in, and thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. All right. I love to ask every guest for a little known fun fact. Can you share yours with us?
Yes. I'm an award-winning romance author under a secret pen name.
That is so cool. How long have you been doing that?
Actually, my master's is in writing. So I've been writing since then. In 2008 is when I got my master's. But I started publishing full novels in June, and my third one comes out in February.
That's so exciting. And are you allowed to share your pen name, or is that super secret?
It's Sarah Ellie, S-E-R-A, Sarah Ellie.
And how do you spell the last name? E-L?
E-L-L-Y. So
Okay.
I took my middle name and just cut it off.
I love it. I love it. All right. So everybody go out and grab her books, because apparently they're really great, because she's won some awards, right?
Yes, I did, which was really exciting.
I love that. I think that is so fun. Okay, let's dive into the conversation, because when I started sharing what we were going to talk about today with my audience earlier this week, I emailed about it and shared it out on social. I had a lot of people that were saying, oh, I need this, because we all have those people that grab our free lead magnets. They love what we do, but it feels like climbing up a hill trying to get them to convert. So let's talk about what you call a gateway offer. What is that?
Yes. So a gateway offer is the first offer that you'd sell to absolutely everyone. And depending on the type of business you have, so first I'll focus on service businesses. Let's say
Mhm.
you're selling your service to somebody. What you'd want it to look like is an interview with all of the people who have to say yes, pull them
Mhm.
in, and then a documented strategy on how you can solve their challenge, and then a review session where
Mhm.
you talk through like what does execution look like, and that's when you would move them through to the high ticket path that they would want to go through. So it's a
Okay.
paid offer
Uh-huh.
that helps them like build a roadmap on how to solve that problem.
Okay. And so I just want to make sure that I'm understanding and also for my audience to ask this question. So what you're saying is somebody opts in for that free lead magnet and then what we want to give them next is that gateway offer. That's that lower ticket thing?
Yeah, it's a lower ticket thing. Now let's for your audience, are they mainly selling services? Are they
Mhm.
B2C or B2B? Or are they selling products like digital products?
Well, some of them are selling digital products, but most are service-based like I am, coaches, course creators. And
Okay.
so they have ebooks, they have one-to-one services, they have group coaching programs, they have memberships.
Okay. So I would go a little bit different of a path. If they're coming straight from a cold lead magnet,
Mhm.
then the next thing that I would do is offer an active lead generator. So that's
Okay.
something that's time sensitive that they
Uh-huh.
would have to attend or participate in during like a set period of time. So this warms up that relationship. A cold lead magnet that leads to a cold lead. They're
Yeah.
going to remain cold for a little while. So you need to like bring that relationship a little closer.
Okay.
So that can look like a workshop. It can look like a group Q&A,
Uh-huh.
AMA kind of thing, but
Right.
it's something that has to be done during a set period of time. So then
Got it.
you're getting like active participation.
Got it. Okay, so they opt in for the free thing because I'm
Mhm.
like, I got ideas swirling in my head. So they opt in for my free thing, and then a next step I could offer would be like an ask me anything. I'm gonna go live on Zoom. Here's the link, and
Yeah.
then come join me. And then is that a free thing? Did you say, or is that a low ticket paid thing?
That would is usually free.
Okay.
Um, so I have like an escalation, like a staircase of how I pull people in because if they're downloading an ebook or something like that, they're pretty
Mhm.
cold. They just want the information.
Right.
So you need to warm them up a decent amount to be able to shell out like $1,000 for a gateway offer. So you need to
Yep.
ease them into that and build trust with them. So from a free lead magnet, I'd move them into an active lead generator,
Okay.
which is free, but it's also like demands more of their time and attention. And
Uh-huh.
you'd want them to be able to accomplish one thing during that active lead generator. Get
Okay.
them a little bit closer to ready to buy from you. And then the next step up, that stair right here, that would be a micro offer. So that would be something paid. So that can look like a paid workshop where they're
Okay.
actually working with you, you're completing something, but it's less than a gateway offer. From
Okay.
there, they're they've they've created something that will get them to the next step and closer to ready to work with you. That's when you would want to ease them into that gateway offer, which
Nice.
is usually around $1,000. Like 995 is the sweet why not price,
Uh-huh.
and that's where you'll move them into your high ticket.
Okay, I
So
love this. So it's like a yeah, it's like an offer ladder.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly. It gets
okay.
them it builds trust, and it gets
Mhm,
them to the point where they're ready to work with you because they need
mhm.
to accomplish some things before they can
For
move
sure.
into that high ticket.
Yeah, because it's like going from 0 free to 9.97 is kinda like me sitting down next to you at the bar and going, "Hey, you're cute, let's get married."
Exactly. I'm not
So
marrying you. Not
right.
yet.
I know, not yet. We have to date each other first. Okay, so the free opt-in in because 'cause they're cold, and then we would offer them a live Zoom Q&A as an example.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then the
that
next offer would be like a low ticket, "Hey, I'm having this workshop, come join me," kind
mhm.
of a thing. And
Yeah,
then
and that's something they would complete something. So
yeah,
you're helping them actually accomplish something in that.
Nice. Nice. I love it. Okay. So tell us, and I think we kind of we touched on this for just a second, but I want to go a little bit deeper into it. Why do they work? And can you give us some examples of a client that came to you and kind of like I was just saying, hey, how does this apply to me? Give us an example of a client that did this and like what success did they have?
Yeah. Okay. So first, why does it work? It's because you're when they come in, they're usually symptom aware when a client
Mhm.
comes in. So your ebook will probably want to help them understand why they're feeling those symptoms so they
Mhm.
can kind of diagnose what's the
Mhm.
challenge that I'm actually going through that's causing this. So
Mhm.
that's what you would want your cold lead magnet to be about. So with each one, you're getting them closer to ready to solve that problem.
Okay.
When people come in cold, they're not ready yet. They don't even know what their problem is yet, usually. So there's that. And then the
Mhm.
next, each step in that staircase is
Mhm.
warming up the relationship. You're getting a little bit closer every time. The first touch that they have with you, they're not even touching you really, right?
Right.
They're downloading something. They don't know you
Yeah.
yet.
Right.
And then the next one up, they see you, but it's more of like a parasocial relationship because you're talking to them, but it's not an interaction. So it's a
Mhm.
little bit warmer. You're familiar now. And then the next one up, they're interacting. You're working together to solve a problem in that workshop. And then the gateway is super personal because it's a one-to-one interaction and you're developing a blueprint for them to solve that problem. So
Mhm.
with each one, you're building trust, but you're also helping them accomplish something.
Mhm. I love that.
So yeah, that's one. I'll walk you through mine because that's the most top of mind for me right now.
Mhm.
Um, so typically people will come to me through an event. I have like freebies that people can get now. I started off with like ebooks and
Mhm.
quizzes and downloads, and that did bring in a lot of people. But
Right.
now it's usually the podcast. Like, people like that stuff is enough at this point.
Right.
Or I have like a monthly consulting call. People will join that, and that's free.
Mhm.
So they get to know me from that, and that allows me to skip a step a little bit. They'll go right into the active lead generator
Mhm.
and go to something live with me. And
Nice.
then from there, I have quarterly workshops where I'm helping you build something during that
Mhm.
workshop. And from there, they typically will come to me and either want to go directly into like the tiny marketing program,
Mhm.
or they'll want more of a retainer work with me. So we'll go
Mhm.
into my gateway offer, and that's where I'm building out the solution for them.
Mhm.
And then in that review call during the gateway offer, that's when I'm telling you, like, this is what the next step would be. This is the right offer for you. And this is when we can kick off. So the selling happens in that review session.
Very cool. Because that was one of my questions was, how do you structure this darn thing? But I love the way that you have very clearly laid this out. And so when you're doing, they've opted in for the freebie. They're on your email list. And then do you just email your entire list and say, hey, come join me live on the Ask Me Anything, or hey, now I'm having this workshop. Is that and you're emailing the list and telling them about it?
Yeah, I'm telling them about it. And I'm also putting it on social and in my niche communities. So I'm bringing even more people in on that initial low
Mhm.
level, you don't have to pay me to enter this element. So I'm bringing in as many people as possible on that level. And
Nice.
then they systematically move forward as they're experiencing
Mhm.
those little wins.
Got it. And do you feel like this could work for any kind of business? Because I know we talked about my audience is largely online entrepreneurs that are service based. So coaches, course creators, and the service businesses that support them, like copywriters and website developers. But do you see this also working for product based businesses?
I work with all service, but if you're
Mhm.
talking digital product,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay.
So let's talk about those course creators and like online program creators or community
Yeah.
creators in a different way.
Okay.
So everything I've said so far, that's for more service, and consulting. You're working one-on-one with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have a more scalable offer, that's like what we talked about, digital products or courses, I would just tweak it a little bit. It's the same staircase, but different types of offers. You want the experience, no matter what kind of business you have, you
Mm-hmm.
want that gateway experience and that lead generation experience to mirror what's inside of working with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you have a program that's maybe hybrid, there's some face-to-face stuff, and then there's some like trainings that are available.
Okay.
Then you would want your lead magnets and your micro offers to mirror that so they can see what it's like to work with you. So instead of doing a gateway offer, I would instead offer like a vault product, which would be like pulling out one piece of your program and selling it as a standalone product that would upsell them into the whole program. Like, if you liked this and you got what you needed from it, great. But if not, this is what the full program looks like.
Nice. Nice. I love that. So let's talk about 2026, because 2025 has been a roller coaster for a lot of businesses.
Yes.
And so, like, tell me, what are some things that you saw this year that made you kind of pause and go, oh, okay, that
Yeah.
worked, or oh, that did not work?
Yeah, I have plenty of those. So I have a little story to go with that. I got a new client last January. And when we were doing our gateway offer, I interviewed them, I walked away and built a strategy, and I presented like, you really need to restructure your offers because
Mhm.
in this climate, like the direction the economy is going, people are not going to sign on for $100,000 project and a year commitment. They don't
Yeah,
know what their business is going to look like in 3 months.
right.
So we restructured it into modules so they would only have to sell a piece of it, and
Uh-huh.
then they would like a milestone. Then they
Mhm.
would move to the next milestone. It's less commitment, less
Mhm.
money up front, and it helps them feel more secure and
Right.
able to be agile.
Mhm.
So that's one thing that they wish they had listened to me earlier. They didn't do it right away. They did do it eventually, and it worked
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
But, that is something that any business could take on for 2026 too, is to
Mhm.
break apart your offers into milestones or modules so it's easier to sell
Mhm.
and there's less commitment.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Anytime somebody tells me it's a year commitment, I'm out.
And then
I
even before that, a year is too much for
It is,
me.
and really 6 months is too much for me
Yeah.
because the times that I have joined something that was a year, the structure of the thing I joined changed, and it no longer became something that I wanted to be in, and I was like, "Well, this is terrible." So
Yeah, I can see that too, and that's something to consider if you're a coach or a consultant that runs a
Mhm,
program.
mhm,
That also ties you to commit to doing the exact same container for that entire year. Otherwise, you're gonna lose retention, people are gonna be mad, they're gonna leave.
right.
Like, it also benefits you. You can be more agile and and make
Yeah.
decisions quicker.
Yeah, I like that. It does benefit us too, because if this thing doesn't light me up anymore, gah, I gotta stick with it
Mm,
if they committed for a year. Well,
I
okay, so
agree.
is there anything else in 2025 that you were like, "Ooh," like either it didn't work or it worked really, like, you gave us that example of what they should have done that did work well. Anything else you can think of?
Yeah, so I have seen a lot of people in 2025 go all in on an offer before validating it,
Oh,
and that's something I would step back from because you can
mhm.
lose a lot of time and money doing that.
Yes.
So instead of making the decision in a box, what you
Mhm,
would do is like I have a process where I will put together an interest list. I'll start teasing out what that possible offer could be,
mhm.
and I'll build an interest list around it. And then I'll do a pop-up offer.
Mhm.
So it would be a mini version that's in a small container, and I would sell that. And if it sells, that validates that the market is interested in it. But it
Mhm.
also gives me a small container to test to see if I like doing it. If I
Yeah.
don't like delivering it, I don't want to be committed to doing it for 6 months or however long.
Yep.
So it gives you a way to validate and also decide, is that for me?
Mhm. No, I like that very much. Absolutely. I made the mistake when I was just starting out, which feels like a million years ago, of creating this awesome course that I just knew everybody was going to love. And
Yeah.
I did what I thought was validating and market research, but I didn't really do it correctly. And I didn't have a good result. And so, exactly to your point, don't waste the time and the money if you're not sure your market wants it, but then also not sure you really it's going to light you up either. That's great. And so then going into 2026, Sarah, what do you see that's going to work really well in 2026?
So I would think small in 2026 and think in terms of wins. What one win can you give your client in a specific container? That's
Mhm.
something that I would do. And the other thing that I would do is just like scale back. A lot of people want to be everywhere and do everything in their marketing.
Right.
You don't need that. Especially service providers. You said a lot of the people here are
Mhm.
like solo service providers, coaches, consultants.
Yep.
You don't need to have a newsletter, a podcast, um, beyond LinkedIn, Instagram, everything. You don't
Yeah.
need that. So I would focus in on just the two, three things that are working and just go all in on that. You don't need to go bigger.
I love that. I am all about simplicity and ease in a business. And I echo what you just said because I have clients and students that come to me and they're like, I'm completely overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. I don't know why I feel this way and I don't know what to do. And I come to find out they're doing exactly what you're saying. They've got the blog, they've got the podcast, they've got they've got this, they've got that. They're on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And I'm like, well, no wonder you're exhausted.
Yeah. You don't
Let's just
uh, you're not going to do anything well if you're doing everything.
I love that. Say that one more time because that's brilliant.
You're not gonna do anything well if you're doing everything.
I love it. Tell me your opinion on this. I've been hearing in the past 60 days, I consume a lot of podcasts and I listen to a lot of people on their YouTube and master classes and things like that. And I've been hearing a lot that pain point marketing is not really the way to go in 2026. And I've got some opinions on it, but I would love to know your opinion. And their theory is that if you're marketing to the pain point, then you're likely going to attract people that are who you used to be and potentially don't have the money to join you in your program. So I'd love to know your opinion on that.
Oh, I have opinions. Okay.
Give them to us.
So, pain point marketing works for cold lead magnets because what you're doing, so that staircase that I described to
Mhm.
you, let's just talk about like where they're at. Lead magnets attract cold leads
Mhm.
and they are only symptom aware. So it makes sense to do pain point marketing for those lead magnets.
Okay.
You want people at every stage coming into your funnel so that you can pull them in when you're ready.
Mhm.
And then the next stage up, an active lead generator, they're warm leads. So they don't need that pain point marketing anymore. At that
Uh-huh.
point, they're aware of what their pain is and they just need to learn how to solve it. And then when you get into like a micro offer or a gateway offer, those are hot leads because they know what they need and they're ready to get that started. So that's the
Mhm.
layers. So pain point works when you want top of funnel
Mhm.
discovery level leads to come in so you can warm them up over time and get them ready. But
Yeah.
if you're looking for hot leads, that's not going to work because you're just going to attract people that aren't ready for you yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. And thank you for sharing that because when you hear a bunch of things and I'm sitting here trying to process this in a vacuum by myself and I'm like, I really need to ask some of my business besties what, their opinion is. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
love that.
I don't think it's an all or nothing thing. It's just attracting the right people at the right
Mhm.
stage.
Got it. And you mentioned having a quiz. I had a quiz. It did not convert very well. I think looking back on it, it was probably the marketing messaging, and maybe even a little bit of visibility. But do you feel like for our market, when we're marketing to online entrepreneurs? So let me back up. I know quizzes can work really well as a top of funnel lead magnet for some businesses, but I am just wondering if our market is into those anymore.
I don't think so. I like mine. I did get a ton of email subscribers from my
Mhm,
quiz. People were into the quiz, and
mhm.
it did convert 3 years ago,
Yeah,
but not anymore. I don't think any of us have the time or interest to do
mhm.
that anymore.
Yeah. I
For
know I don't.
myself, no, me either. And I used to love doing them.
I know.
So I think what has worked well for me, well, the fact that I'm everywhere, as you said, like I'm easy to get a hold of. Everywhere is in like you can find me on LinkedIn
Mhm,
and you know what in my podcast. So
mhm,
those two things nurture. And then I pull people directly into more of an active lead generator with me where it's either like the consulting call where they're experiencing working with me a little bit or a
mhm.
workshop where we're finishing something. So that has been the easiest way to convert to true clients is doing it that way for myself.
Yeah, love that. Okay, 2 more questions, and then we're gonna land the plane. I would love to know, and I know my listeners do too, if a listener could do only one thing this week to move their marketing forward, what would Sarah say that needs to be?
It's gonna sound funny because it's not truly marketing, it's more biz dev, but get into a good niche community where your ideal clients would spend time.
Mhm.
That's the easiest way to get clients.
I love that. Yeah, I agree with you. Building relationships, making connections, being in community, meeting other people, coffee chats, virtual networking, all that stuff. That is what helped me in my over 20-year sales business development career. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that in 2026 that's going to be the bridge that bridges us back together, because I feel like people are looking for real humans that they can connect with and do business with and get real support from the people that
Yeah.
they're paying.
I wanna add on that before we go to that second question, but you're completely right, and I kind of saw that shift, so it didn't occur to me to talk about that for 2026 because I feel like 2025, we've already seen this shift happening
Mhm. Yeah.
with AI especially,
Oh, yeah.
people are wanting to connect more with
Mhm.
humans
Yes.
because of that. So, yeah, that one-to-one, the event marketing,
Mhm.
the, and that's the reason why podcasts are working so well and like live streams because you're actually interacting with a human.
Uh-huh.
So that human element matters a lot.
Yeah, I think so. And I recognized it earlier as well, Sarah, because we were like, I started well, I've always been a relationship person anyway. So cheers to us, the people who like to build relationships, because we're gonna kill it in 2026.
And
But
we've met through a community too.
we did. But like late in 2024, everybody's talking about the trust recession, the trust deficit, and all that jazz. And late in 2024 is when I really started to notice people were tired of joining programs where there was no real help, buying courses and trying to do it on their own, and they
Mhm.
really just needed somebody to help them. And so, and then I saw it ramp up in 2025. And I think that's why I'm seeing, I think, my opinion, some of the big names are now adding some sort of human element to their program.
You're so right. This we're probably gonna go over, but I
That's fine.
I just listened to a podcast on the same thing and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, that's so true." And they were like,
Mhm.
"AI has made those like standalone self-paced digital courses almost obsolete. They don't matter so much. They're more of
Right.
a micro offer to pull people
Yeah.
into your world. But what you need is a human element in your program. You need to have that one-to-one interaction.
Mhm.
And it's so true. My own program, every level, you get one-on-one time with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Same. In fact, I interviewed Jay Schwedelson 2 weeks ago. He's the founder of subjectline.com. And he was kind of saying the same thing. He's like, the people that are going to shine in 2026 are the people that give their time
Yeah.
and take time with their clients. So, all right.
I
Well,
completely agree, and I wouldn't join a program where I wasn't getting that either, and I have, and it's like, I would never do that again.
no, and that's the reason why I designed my programs the way I have. I have an 8-week group coaching program. And what makes it vastly different than every other program people have been in is the fact that they get me. They get
Mhm.
my attention. We're doing on live Q&A on Zoom, Brady Bunch style, where I'm talking to them and I'm answering all their questions. And I don't think people believe that I actually do that because they have been in so many programs that promised them that and didn't deliver. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, really, I'm going to look at your stuff. You know what I mean? Like what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. I always get like, "How do you do that?" On every sales call, they're like,
Uh-huh.
"How do you have the time to be able to do that?" Because 'Cause I'm, like,
Yeah.
getting in their docs, putting in
Mhm.
comments, having
Yeah,
calls with them, like, I make it
same.
work.
I know. Well, for me, it's because I've been in the programs that didn't do it, and it felt terrible, and
Yeah.
I know you have such a big heart for people too that I mean, you probably couldn't sleep at night if you didn't do it that way.
No, it would feel really icky, and that it's the same thing, like, I've done, coaching programs throughout my entire
Mhm.
business, and I took the things that I loved about them and
Yes.
married them to create what I have now.
Yeah, yeah, same. Okay, one last question, and then because I don't wanna keep you all day, but I could because 'cause you're so fun. This is kind of a just for fun question. If you could tell your younger self one thing about business, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay. Um, that making a mistake is okay. It's a learning experience. I do not think my business would be what it is today if I didn't stumble a whole lot and learn from it at the beginning. It's not the end of the world.
Okay. Could you say that again? Because it is so important. Because I think I have clients and students that are afraid to make a move because they're not gonna get it right the first time.
You're not gonna. You're not gonna get it right. If you did, there's probably something that you could have done better, like, if it
Okay,
feels like it.
I love
So,
that.
mistakes are learning experiences, and you're not going to find that right fit, that you're not gonna find that right program or whatever it is you're doing until you
Mhm.
make those mistakes and that stumbling. That's how you
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. This is one of those moments where, like, I don't know about your kids, but I would be saying something to them over and over and over again, and then my, best friend would say the same thing and they'd actually listen. I feel like that's what we just had because I tell my audience and my clients and my students this all the time, but I'm thinking, okay, maybe they'll listen to Sarah.
Yeah, my kids are like that too.
It's so frustrating. It's like, what do you mean your Aunt Sally just told you that? I've been telling you that for 5 years.
Yeah, but, you aren't Aunt Sally.
It's true. Not nearly as cool. Okay, tell everybody where they can find you and connect with you, Sarah.
Yes. So my podcast is Tiny Marketing. I'm on all of the platforms and I hang out on LinkedIn. So you can find me there. My website is my name. That's
Love
easy.
it.
SarahNoelBlock.com.
I love it. And you've got a really cool offer for our group. I've got the link to it. Do you want to tell everybody what it is?
Yes. So it's the Gateway Offer Challenge. And it gives you an overview of how to build your own gateway offer and then all of the everything that you need to be able to sell it in a week.
Ah, I love that. And it's normally $47, but what are you doing for us?
It's free for you. You get a promo code.
That is so kind and generous. You guys, I was so excited when Sarah emailed me that. I thought, how generous is that? You know, she didn't discount it. She just made it free. So the
Yeah.
promo code is Tracy 100, all caps 100, TRACY. There's no EY, there's no IE. I wish it's just plain Tracy. But go grab that because it's going to help you execute on what we talked about today. And
Mhm.
just in case somebody is wondering, why did you name it Tiny Marketing?
That just came to me in the car, but I got the idea for tiny marketing because it's tiny teams that I support, and you can do everything that I teach with a one-person business.
I love that. That's amazing. I was just wondering. I'm like, I wonder why she named it Tiny Marketing, because I think it's
Yeah,
really
that's
cool.
why.
All right. I love it. Anything you want to add before I land the plane?
Just thank you. Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it so much. You guys, here's what I want you to do next. If you have not checked out my podcast, it's called Create Online Business Success. You're going to find a lot of actionable tactical strategies along mixed in with my goofball sense of humor. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So listen for the entertainment reason only. And then also, reminder, go check out Sarah's podcast. It's called Tiny Marketing. Easy to remember. And also be here live with me every single week, Thursday at 11:30 Central. I'm either going to bring you something on my own, or I'm going to bring in an awesome guest like Sarah, and we're going to have an amazing conversation. And remember, you hear me say this every single week. I know I sound like a broken record, but being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. Some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling. And then you get into a year like 2025 and nobody can remember your name. And we're going into 2026 and you're like, what the hell is going to work for 2026? If you're feeling alone in that, trust me, trust Sarah, you're not alone. We all feel that way. This thing is a roller coaster. So you've got to get into a community of support where you can be with other people and talk about what's going on and find solutions for your business and find cool people like Sarah to hang out with that can say, hey, you got this. It's going to be all right. You're going to make mistakes, but you're going to pick yourself back up. So join my free Facebook group. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur. Get visible, grow your email list and your income, and come in and get some support. The links to all this stuff is in the show notes. Where you can connect with Sarah is also in the show notes. I want you guys to have a great balance of the week and weekend. And I want you to remember that when one of us rises, we all rise. So that is why we have got to keep cheering each other on. Sarah, thank you so much for gifting us your time.